Truth Man here. So listen. So I just did a short on how people be using you, and one of the signs is they don't help you. Like for instance, they'll have something that you need, and they'll have plenty of it, but they won't give it to you. They won't let you use it. They won't let you borrow. Now I know some situations you have to take a hard line, but all these situations don't require no hard line, man. People just be using you. I'm gonna give you some examples of this in this video. Like when you always getting into it with somebody, but you gotta pull money out of your wallet to somehow benefit them, they using you. Because if they respected you like that, you wouldn't be getting into it with them like that. People will use you like in a variety of ways. Some people will use you because they know you fun to be around and they ain't got nobody else to be around. People, like for instance, the new thing people do now is the phone just hangs up. They get their little fix for talking to you. Some people will try to call you when they in the store, so they'll look like to the people that don't know them, like people is interested in them. And so they can like say little sideways comment that other people hear. And then the phone hangs up. The phone hangs up. Like that's a new thing people do. And I already said that when people try to do that, I'm gonna do it back to them, or I'm just not gonna answer. Because these the people that use you. Like people who really want to talk to you, you have a hard time getting off the phone with them. People who just using you, maybe in between calls, or somehow, them the ones that the phone mysteriously hang up. They have long spurts of being quiet on the phone because they ain't got nothing to talk about, or they don't really want to talk to you. You just the person that's around. Stop answering your phone every time somebody call you, because if it's an emergency, then they'll leave a text message. Everybody got their phone. Just like these women. I put a post up on Facebook where I was talking about, my nose, frankly, I got the sniffles because they keep having the air on. It wasn't even warm, and I looked at the air. I woke up because it was cold down there, and I looked, and they had the air on. It was like 60, 65 or something like that. I'm like, psh. But we got to take a harder line, a harder approach. Like the same way people be selfish with us, we got to start being more selfish with them. If you don't treat me right, I could care less about your well-being. If you don't try to team up with me when I need somebody to team up, I don't care if you homeless. I don't. See, we got to stop giving people a permanent place in our lives that they don't even respect us like that. They don't even like us like that. But yeah, you giving them a permanent place because of this association with them or that association with them. Just like some of the things I'm going to do in the future, I already know my relatives ain't going to be able to be around because I got relatives that think we still kids or think we somehow back up in 96. I got friends like that too. You don't want to look at me for the person I am now because of who I was back in them days. And one of my biggest things that I'm happy that I did in my early 20s is some of the stuff I was doing, I did it by myself. Because I knew that, man, some stuff you can't do with other people. You just can't. It's always been like that. Always been like that. You gotta have an attitude that I don't owe none of these people nothing. Not even your parents. You don't owe your parents. They brought you in this world. You didn't bring them in this world. You don't even owe them. And people be taking an easy line with their parents. And their parents, especially black parents, a lot of time, don't even be setting us up right. They don't even be setting us up right. But then when they start struggling, I'm supposed to just bend over backwards and help you? Where was my help at when I was struggling? Oh, let me guess. I should give you a free pass. You didn't give me one. We gotta stop letting people use us. Like, especially if you doing gig work, right? Like DoorDash, all that. When you out here, you can't be taking people everywhere. You can't keep stopping. You supposed, like the way you gonna get the most out of this is you start early, you finish late, and anything else going on, you limit your stoppage. People don't be respecting that, and then these same people who don't respect that you making your money out here from 1099 will tell you to get a job or to get a real job so they can use you even more. I'm telling you, we gotta learn the true action and interaction that the Most High has with people and try to conduct ourselves like that. The Most High ain't begging for nobody's attention. We gotta be the same way. We gotta be the same way. What I look like needing your attention, you don't even help me. I guarantee you it was a time when a lot of the people that you be talking to, and a lot of the people that you know, I gotta sneeze. I told y'all it was cold down there. I'm not sick, but this is what happens. Where they could have helped you or helped you more than they did. This is one of our biggest mistakes that we make with our lives, is we be having the wrong people in there. I was listening to King Dre earlier. That's one of the content creators that I actually like his content, because game recognized game, y'all. And I know that man got some game. And he done been through some things. You know how some people, and I'll give credit where credit is due, some people just know how to take the adversities that they had in their life and turn them into wisdom and knowledge that they can help somebody else. I look at him like he one of them people. And he was talking about what I'm talking about right now. How, is that a raccoon at this time? That's when they be having them rape. What is that? The guy's moving. Oh, that's a cat. He was talking about how when you got toxic people or they got a toxic attitude towards you, how it's gonna be holding you back. He said the times he was at his lowest point, he had a toxic woman or toxic this, toxic that. And he said the times he was at his highest point, he either didn't have no woman or he had a good one. And remember, a woman ain't a good woman if it ain't towards you. If she good, if you got kids with a woman, and she good to the kids but not to you, then that's not a good woman. That's not a good woman. She's supposed to be teaming up. She's supposed to be making things easier for you. I know a lot of these women is brainwashed by Luciferianism and like government philosophies and different things, but still, that ain't no excuse. That ain't no excuse. So, like I say, people won't help you. It's they using you somehow. Figure it out. Figure out how they trying to use you and take that away from them. Take that away from them. It could be something simple as they don't like to do certain things by themselves. So they'll call you up, but when it's time for some help moving, some help finding a place, they might have places and they'll know that you having them troubles and still won't rent it to you. Because I look at it like, if you don't trust somebody like that, where you weren't willing to put your money on the line, then that ain't somebody you should be like in cahoots with. But people will do it because they using you. They won't trust you for this or they won't trust you for that. And it's like, me personally, I could tell you firsthand that money stuff, that anxiety is a mother sucker. Like just trying to make it every month. Like trying to make it. Because what happens is too, like you, like when you get in a relationship or a marriage, you better recognize that you're going to have to give up some of that masculinity. Either it's going to happen at work or it's going to happen at home or both. Now, you really shouldn't have to. And I would advise people to just do not. I'm telling you, man, do not ever try to pay all the bills if you're not rich already. And even if you is, I will still make her contribute. Because what happens is they become entitled. And everything you do for them is not good enough. You could, let's say you won some money, right? And you say, I'm gonna buy this person a car, but you ain't tell nobody how much you want. The entitled person is gonna get into it with you for not telling them how much they want, instead of thanking you or not telling them how much you want, instead of thanking you for whatever it is you did for them. That's how that works. The entitled, ungrateful, unthankful person is a lot of time you gonna get into it with them after you do something for them. That's just the way it works, man. And why is this? And who does this happen to? It happens to people that's being used. And the person who does it is the user. These women are all of a sudden get freaky with the next man that ain't did nothing for them. Why? Because they was using you. And you finally saw it and you broke up, you left them alone. And now they trying to impress this other person. They love bomb. They doing the same stuff they did to you. And it may be the same ending that happened with you. Love bombing, acting freaky, cuddling, all this stuff. But then one day they're gonna get tired of them too. One day they're gonna get tired of them too. Because a user is a you. That's one of the hardest traits to break. So, well, you using them for sex. I ain't never had to use no woman for sex. And I never will. What I always did was I always found the ones that wanted to do it. But a lot of guys are, because they can't get women. So they'll put up with mess from a woman. They'll let a woman use them. Sit up breaking their back for a woman that don't even respect them, don't even love them, don't even appreciate them. And some of them is because they don't feel that way about themselves. Never have. So when they won't help you, I'm talking about the help that'll put you over the top. It's they use it. Now, every now and then you'll see a person that they might talk a little stuff, but they be helping people. When you see that, it's because they actually care about people. They might just have like behavioral issues. But when you see people that will not help, like they won't help people, that's a user. You always got to give them more than they give you. User. They nickel and dime you. User. Let me tell you something. A woman that's into you is not going to nickel and dime you. They ain't going to nickel and dime you. They'll go in their purse and buy you something. I know a guy that every time you look up, this dude got something that his girl done bought him. I said, man, seem like you got a good girl, man. Seem like you got a good girl. Now, they emotional creatures, so you gonna deal with that sometime. But just don't take it from a user. And this is another way you know somebody using. When that thing that you were giving them, that you were doing for them, is gone, scaled back, or not coming when they want it, they break everything off. They willing to break everything off. They willing for you to be away from your kids, for you to do this, do that. And let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Because I be hearing some of y'all. Dudes be literally grifting on YouTube, trying to manipulate people into thinking that it's something special about them. And a lot of them, I noticed that they waited until they was on the top. So I be looking at it like, so the whole time that was false humility. You falsely presented yourself as a humble person to get till you got what you wanted. Because I look at it like, okay, where was all these people at when people wasn't making money from YouTube? Users. A user will flip out on you and start saying stuff to you that they ain't never said. Case in point, look at YouTube. I ain't even got to name no content creators. I'll let you do it. Give me the name of a content creator that done flipped out on their audience. I know y'all can think of somebody, because I could think of like 2 or 3 right off the bat. Right off the bat. I'm going to show you something. That's what I like about Darius M. I'm going to show you what I like about Darius. And a previous rival that he had, Abba and Preach. Both of them know they making a good amount of money from YouTube. But they still don't remain consistent in their delivery of their content. They ain't flipping out on people now. Like, you look at, it's one in particular that you look at him like, you be like this. Where's all this coming from? It had to be there the whole time. It had to be there the whole time. But people will wait till they got more than enough. And it ain't no risk. You ain't do that stuff before you blew up. Because you already knew what time it is. You wouldn't have got none of this stuff. People be using people, man. Them content creators that can't never read your comments without a super chat. They can't never speak. Like for instance, General Tito. When he comes on his videos, anybody that's in there talking, he shout out to such and such, such and such. But the dudes I'm talking about, the users, they don't do it. Dudes be quitting when they get demonetized because they don't care. Now, I can see if you said, well, I ain't making the money, so I'm going to just do videos here and there to help people. I can see you decreasing your content amount. But a lot of these people are users. Using people. You can't tell a user that they're a user. Because 9 times out of 10, you can't tell them anything. This is the girlfriend or the wife who penny pinch you over everything. But yet, if y'all get divorced, they supposed to get half. Come on, man. This is why we tell y'all not to get married. Don't let them put pressure on you to get married. Look around and see what marriage is. Go watch some of my videos. Go watch other guys. You get married, you giving up some of that manhood, whether you want to or not. And if you don't want to, then you gonna suffer some other way, either financially. You think I don't know what I'm talking about? Standing on people. You know what they do? Because I'm such a good worker, I don't be getting fired. What they do is they'll look for something hoping that they could fire you. Or they'll try to pick with you until you don't want to work there no more. Just they don't want you around. A superficial work environment. They're going to be using people till they get their numbers up. Then what they're going to do is all the people that they don't want around, when they get the numbers up, they're going to start picking with them. Happens all over the world, especially in Wisconsin. Especially. Oh, don't be black, tall. You not entertaining them. You not acting like Bojangle. You standing yourself. Oh man, get ready. You better offer something that they need. You better have something that they can't teach somebody else. I'm telling you. If you don't, you gone. I remember one time I got laid off from a job. I was building generators in Waukesha. And I got laid off when numbers was up. In particular, my group, we was getting them out of there. And they laid me off. And I was the only person they laid off. I ain't bother nobody. I used to eat my lunch in the car. Mind my own business. They didn't like that. I believe somebody was lying on me or doing something. Because when I asked them, like, how am I getting laid off and I'm the only person, I'm not even the lowest person, and numbers is up. Because when they got all the people they needed, they looked at the person that they didn't like. I don't know if I was intimidating them or what it was, but I didn't bother nobody. I talked a little bit. I kept to myself. I was quiet. I was just doing my work. And I got laid off. Another time, we was putting together these, the little electrical storage boxes. We had to paint them, sand them down, do all that. Nobody understood. Dude just came in and laid me off. Told me he ain't need me no more. He had one other black dude that I knew from church and stuff. And it's like, how I took it, the dude I knew, he respected me like that. He always used to bring it up, like how he respected me because he knew I got laid off for no reason. I ain't blow up. I ain't trip. I did notice that some of those guys was funny acting. Like I'd be trying to talk to them and they just have talking, you know. We getting them things out of there too. Lay me off. I've had jobs that they cool as long as they numbers ain't up. We as black people need to watch that in general. Like how they letting all these other people in the U.S., regardless of what we say about Trump. He undid some crazy stuff, like that whole thing, and they don't have to hire us. That was uncalled for, and I'm not taking up for him. But the way he's keeping people from illegally coming over here and different things, that's going to benefit black people. Because you already know when they get them numbers up, guess who's going to become expendable? You guessed it. Chocolate. This is why in life you always got to have multiple options in everything, including women. When you try to have one woman, it's going to sting more when you ain't got her no more. Now you got 2 or 3, it ain't going to sting at all. Because a lot of time, if they even think it's stinging you, they're going to step it up. You had one, you had kids with her, then all of a sudden, she just flip out on you and she don't want nothing to do with you no more. If you weak-minded, if you ain't no matrix, that's going to sting. It's going to sting a little bit regardless, because you get comfortable in your living situation. But it's going to sting more to the weak. The strong going to start to look at, it's a reason why I'm not with this person. So if they get with somebody else, it ain't going to bother the strong. If they was a user, they're going to be like, oh, they're just using me anyway. If a woman is using you to pay the bills, the minute that gets in trouble, her attitude is going to change. And how you know she's using you to pay the bills is because she not trying to make no money to contribute. Oh, well, I'm just stay home with the kids. Fine. But guess what a woman that's not using you gonna do? She gonna come to you. See, dudes be always thinking they trying to cheat. Sometimes they do be. But a woman that's not using you, that respect you, she gonna come to you like, hey, I've been thinking. I could do this, I could do this. And that'll help us because that'll bring more money in the house. A woman that's using you gonna lose respect for you instead of helping you. Now y'all in divorce court because your boss tried to treat you like a bitch. Excuse my language. I know it's Sunday, I apologize. But I ain't want to spell that time. And the woman that's using you think you're supposed to take it. The woman that's with you for the right reasons, he wrong for that. We need to figure something else out, baby. We need to get our money up so you can get out of there. The woman that's using you, that done got a little comfortable in her situation, you shouldn't have quit. Thinking back for myself, when I worked at the sewage district downtown, that's one of the jobs I shouldn't have quit. It was premature. I was young. To be honest, I thought that what I was going to do was going to work. What I should have done is kept working there and waited until that took off. That's the job I shouldn't have quit. A couple times I did leave premature. Like the first time I left the other facility, it ain't had nothing to do with nobody there. I thought that when I went down to Texas, I was going to be able to preach, do this, do that, and everything was going to be fine. It didn't work out like that. I could have kept working there for a little while longer. Waited. But here's my thing. This is the thing with me. When I'm in a toxic environment, all I think about is leaving. When I moved down to Texas, that was a toxic environment where I worked. But a lot of times it don't matter if your environment at work is a toxic environment if the people that's closest to you not toxic. I went down there to preach and do some other thing. It ain't had nothing to do with them. Now the second time they was on some bull crap. And it wasn't everybody, it was just a few people. An inexperienced superintendent. And they hired a supervisor that was a nice person, just came from a bad toxic environment, work environment, which happened to be the place I quit recently. You got to be built for that environment. You better be fancy, nice, and get your hair cut there, clean dreads if you got them, Prada boots. You better be in check. The fashion show. And you better be willing to kiss up to not at one particular, and like a couple of them captains, they want you to kiss up to them. The white dude, he ain't care. Dude did not care. You ain't have to kiss up to him. want you to be on hug and dap and all that. Man, I'm trying to get to this post. Nothing against you. You all right? When you don't do it, like, look at this. He look like he was thinking in his mind, look at this mother blicker. I built this up in here. He ain't finna come up in here like he. So they try to treat everybody like they on the same level. Now, I'm not expecting favoritism because I didn't know them. But put some respect in. You know I've been doing this work for a while. And you trying to disregard the work I've been doing. I had to correct them a couple times. Like, I told somebody, I said, watch, when they get these next groups, watch, they gonna switch up. And they did. And before you know it, bam, they were right back down to having the mandatory people every single day practice. Because they was using them people. Look, this is what they do. To get a break, to get they workers a break, they'll let the numbers get up there. Bam, numbers back down. Now your sergeants got to work on the dorm. They got to work overtime. People be using. Like, one thing about people when they don't really care about other people, that's going to be a hard trait to change. That's going to be a hard trait to change. Don't you dare try to be friends with somebody like that. You going to hear from them when they want. If you know somebody like that, stop answering the phone every time they call. Stop dropping what you're doing, going where they want you to go. Tell them, nah, you dictate to these people. Stop letting these people dictate to you. I wouldn't care if I had a billionaire as a friend. He ain't dictating nothing to me. People will try to act like you don't know nothing because they got more money than you. Or because you quit a job. Everybody ain't willing to walk on eggshells. Y'all ever seen them people that the only reason why they got a little something because of their cowardice? They scared to take risk. That's the only reason why some of these people got something. If you like that, you'll be okay. You gonna be around average or below average, but you'll be fine. You ain't gonna lose nothing. Well, why would I want to lose something? You should win a game. But yeah. I'm going to talk about this a little more in the Sunday sermon. I'm going to talk about it a little more. It's like when you slip up and you spent money that you needed because you ain't making as much. People ain't going to help you. They're going to criticize you. You need to give up this. What do you need to do? You need to do something. Dude, what is up with these women that think that their job is to criticize? And that's the only job they do. Dude, some things you just gotta let go. Some people you gotta let go. A person that think they know more than you and you know they don't. That's a person you need to fall back. You ain't gotta stop dealing with them every time. It's just some people you just need to scale back Maybe talk to them once, twice a month. You shouldn't be talking to them every day. Why would you talk to somebody every day that think they know more than you and you know they don't? It remind me of the dude that think because he been to prison, he know all about the streets. Nigga, you been to prison because you don't know about the streets. Then they'll swear all your stories is fabricated because you ain't never been to prison. You think I act like this because I don't know how this go out here? But I know guys, he don't know. He ain't never been to prison. For one, I've worked in them. For two, dude, I grew up on 19th and Hampton in Milwaukee. Anybody that's from Milwaukee, you already know how that is over there. And I don't like to mention this because it's not really a flex. But people know who started the HPT stuff. A lot of people just don't want to admit it. Because they think that they was out here more than you. So they'll be like, oh man, couldn't be. They know. The people who know that there was two people that had something to do with that. And then they'll try to disqualify you if you had both parents. Man, don't y'all know some dudes got both parents, good parents. They just make their own decisions. And some of them are bad. Like how I was out here in these streets in the 90s, they ain't had nothing to do with my parents. That's just something I wanted to do. Something I felt I needed to do at the time. And like, you be in survival mode in a city like Milwaukee. So you gotta carry guns and be ready to use them. Carry yourself a certain way. It was like a defense mechanism. A lot of people was looking at me like, man, he was in PAT. He wasn't even in our unit in high school. It was always in there though. I just did a better job while I was in school, keeping myself from out of trouble. Now, I got chased by the police. And let's go here. One of the reasons is because I just flat out outran the police a couple times. They just couldn't catch me. A couple times. I was fast. I was playing football. They couldn't catch me. I was like Usain Bolt when I was running from the police. And I'm not proud of that, but hey, it is part of, And a couple of them chases, I was by myself, y'all. They just came at me. Just took off. Boom. Like they had this, one time they had this little, you know how they had a little buzzer when they wanted you to move their horn? One time they just blew that. I took off. I took off. There's a police officer right there. I don't know why he's walking around. He must be looking for something. These police out here, I'm cool with a lot of them. The Brookfield, they mess, when you see them bothering somebody, usually it's a couple of them that'll pick with people, but most of the time, they not gonna bother you unless you doing something or they think you doing something. They wasn't like that in the 90s. You go out to Brookfield, they was on you. They're way more laid back now. Tulsa police, they kind of laid back too, but they'll get on you a little more than Brookfield. It's Menominee Falls, Waukesha, them the ones. Milwaukee, same thing. As long as you got legit tags on your car, you ain't doing nothing crazy, they not gonna bother you. They want to go home. They don't want to do all that paperwork. When people using you though, and now they can't use you no more, watch out. They liable to try to get you in some type of trouble. This is when false accusations start happening. When a person think, he broke up with me. He broke up with me. They think that they was better than you, that you didn't deserve them anyway. Now they gonna try to take you for everything, or they gonna try to lie on you. A lot of time, that's just the way it be. Just like them rich guy, the reason why they keep getting caught up, Shannon Sharpe, them singers, whether it's R. Kelly, P. Diddy, then you can't dismiss what P. Diddy did. But some of them people was using him, and he was using them for the foolishness he had built up in his mind. These churches, you know why they don't help the people in need? It's because they're using them for what they can get. Most churches ain't gonna even like to deal with the poor. They'll just do it for show. It's kind of like an investment thing. Like, I don't believe in giving panhandlers money on the street. I believe that the churches, if them panhandlers is really in need, not trying to get drugs or liquor, then the church should have programs for them then. They should not be cold. They should have, look, the church got enough resources, but the church is using people. And it came back to bite them on the butt, because a lot of people don't even deal with churches no more. They know they're using them. But why do you know the church is using you, but you don't know when other people is? And let's go here. Why can't you find a preacher that's not using you, that'll help you if you needed some help? Like, think about it. I'm not saying I'm just a flawless guy. But one thing I am is genuine. You think if I knew a person was helping me every step of the way, and now I'm up, and they came on hard time, you think I'm not going to help that person? I'm not using them, so of course I am. It's the users that don't want to change gears, don't want to help people. But let me get off of here, man, because I could talk forever on this subject. I could talk forever. You gotta start doing different things to combat people trying to use you. Stop paying bills for people who don't respect you. If you got a high conflict level with somebody, you need to get away from them. Or you need to, if you really like love them and respect them, then you need to command respect back. And if they don't give it, then you get away from around them and do whatever else you need to do. But I'm going to get off of here. Make sure y'all supporting the content, whether by Cash App or Super Thanks, Super Chat, whatever. Hit the like button. Let the ads play. Stop letting these people use you, man. You got to get a little more stoic yet cutthroat.